Do you ever wish that your PlayStation 4 controller had slightly longer battery life? Do you wish it had paddles at the back? Do you wish that it could connect to various different systems so you could just get used to the one controller rather than having a different controller for each system? If you do, maybe this is the video for you, because here we have the Brook Marine adapter, which converts a standard controller into a controller with 4 paddles at the back. As well as that, by turning this dial around the top, we can connect it to various different systems. So what we have to do is, can you see there's a little micro USB here? That's the thing that's going to fit into this port here. Now it can be a little bit fiddly the first time you do it, but if you have a look, can you see there, it just goes like that and slots in like so. Then you get this bit. So what we're going to do is just line that up in there, and again you do have to use a bit of force to push that into place. There we go. Okay, so now that is into place and you can see the hole lines up. We're going to get the screw and we're just going to do it up. Don't have to do it tight, that will do. Now if you have a look at the top here, we've got various different symbols. So this top symbol and the bottom symbol here is basically off, so that's power off. See there's a little notch here? When we turn this dial here to match the notch up here, it will say what we're on. So this is PlayStation 4, that's PlayStation 3, that's Nintendo Switch, NS, that's Android, AD, that is off. That's PC, that is iOS, so Apple devices. This is a backup which I believe is not currently used. This is when you do your update on your firmware. And again, this is off. And this is the switch you press in the middle to basically connect it to those devices. So for example, when we go onto the Nintendo Switch, we're going to go to NS for Nintendo Switch, and we're going to tap this button here. And when we tap it, it will start flashing down here. But the very first time we connect it to each device, we will have to basically sync it to that device. And that takes a tiny little bit of time, not long, you're going to see it now. But from then on, you only ever have to tap that button once the initial syncing is done. So with this one here, we're going to go into the controllers menu. And we're going to go to change grip order and just leave it on that page there. Now you can see at the moment it's all off. We've already put it to Nintendo Switch up here. If you haven't, move it around to Nintendo Switch. We need to hold this down for around 2 or 3 seconds until the lights start flashing 2 colours. I believe it's red and blue. So watch this. Pressing it now. Blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. Now let's just leave that for a while. And what will happen is it will eventually come up on here. Now I'm doing this in real time. There we go, you can see paired, and now it's done. Alright, and now remember it's going to mimic the actual Pro controllers. So this one here will be the same as A, X will be B, Y will be square, and triangle will be X. So everything you see on here is being mimicked on here now. So for example, if we want to go back, we're going to be pressing X, and if we want to go into something, we're going to be pressing circle, which is the same as A. And of course it works in docked mode, just like it does in handheld and tabletop mode as well. So now we're going to connect it to the PlayStation 4 Slim. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it to where it says P4. So we're just going to rotate it around once like that. And now, because it's the first time we're doing it, we're going to plug in a micro USB cable into here, and then the other end of this cable into the PlayStation 4 into here. And that will automatically connect it up. There we go, and now you heard it sound up there, and if you have a look now, I can go into it, and once we're now connected, I can disconnect this and it will keep working wirelessly, and then I can connect up all the paddles, and it will also work with the headphone jack and also motion controls as well. And next time we come to use this, we don't need that USB cable again. All we have to do is put it to P4, and then we just need to tap the button, not even hold it down, just tap it, and you will see after a few seconds it will go to solid, and now you can see it's connected again. Now, just to show you how easy it is to change between them once they're initially set up, let's just do a quick example using an Android phone, Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 3. So at this moment in time we're still connected to the Android phone down here. Let's say now if we want to play PlayStation 3, all we have to do is go to this switch here and change it from Android to PlayStation 3. So moving it round to P3, and then just tap the button and you will see it will flash, then it will go to solid, and once it's solid we're now ready to connect to the PlayStation 3. Let's bring it down here and do exactly the same on the Nintendo Switch. So we're going to move it to NS for the Nintendo Switch, tap the button, it will flash. Once it goes to solid, it will be paired up with the Nintendo Switch. And if we want to go back to Android again, go to AD, tap the button till it goes to solid, and again you can see now how easy it is. Now, a lot of people are going to be wondering about lag. Now, to me, I can't tell any difference between using this setup here or the Joy-Cons or the Pro Controller. To me, they all feel the same. But then again, I'm not a professional gamer. So I think what I'm going to do is go to the test controller buttons, and I'm going to show you the difference between here and also the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. And then you can slow down the video yourself and decide whether or not you can see any lag. So for me, I can't notice it. But let me just show you. So if we go in here now, and if I zoom right in, watch this. Okay, and now compare that to the actual Pro Controller, which is designed for the Nintendo Switch. So to me, they feel exactly the same. Can't tell the difference between them. So as far as I'm concerned, the lag must be pretty good. So to set up the turbo function, and what this will allow you to do is just to hold down a button and do repeated presses. So rather than doing this constantly, you can just hold it down and it will do it for you. All we have to do is share and PlayStation button together at the same time, and lights will go out, it will vibrate. Then share and whatever button you want to do the turbo on. So let's pretend we want to do it on X here. So share X, again it vibrated, and then press options to save that, and PlayStation to finish it. Now if we were to go into the test button page, you can see now all the other buttons are still not turbo, but watch this. Yeah. Okay, so in Street Fighter, if you're playing E-Honda and you want to do the 100 hand slap, you can of course press it repeatedly and you will get there. But watch this, hold down triangle, and again. Now let me show you how to remap 2 or possibly 3 or 4 buttons all at the same time. So what we're going to do is go to options and PlayStation, and let's choose this button here, and then we're going to press share and X or whatever button you want to use, and then press options. That's now saved it. Now we're going to hit this button, and then again share, and we can do circle, options, that's now saved it. And now let's do this button here, and we can do share and triangle, options to save it, PlayStation to exit. And now if we go into this menu again, A, B, X, and nothing here. A, B, X, X, B, A. And you can still use the buttons here if you want. And according to the Brook website, the buttons available to remap are X, circle, square, triangle, D-pad, up, down, left, right, and L1, R1, L2, R2, L3 and R3. So for example, if you want to map your D-pad onto here, you can do. At the moment I've mapped this one to be left on the D-pad. Doesn't work to map the left or right analog stick, just the D-pad. And in case you're wondering, the analog sticks are definitely analog. So if you have a look here, can you see small amount, big amount? And that's the left and right stick as well. Now what's clever about this little adapter is when you remap the buttons onto the paddles at the back, it will memorize each device, so you can have the paddles working for one thing, for example on the Nintendo Switch, and then another thing on your Android phone, and then for example another thing on your PlayStation 4, and it will always memorize them. So every time you connect in between the devices, it will remember those paddles, so you haven't got to keep remapping your buttons on every single device. So for example now I'm on the Nintendo Switch, and if you have a look, if I enter into the test controller buttons there, if I press this button, it's the same as ZR, and this is the same as ZL. Yeah, ZR and ZL. Now you can still obviously use these buttons for your ZR and ZL, but let's say now on the Android phone, if we want the buttons to do something different, well that's not a problem at all. All we have to do is go over to Android, hit the button, and then when it's connected, I'm going to show you what the buttons do here. So now if you have a look, I'm moving my way around, and this time if I press this one here, it's the same as the X. You can see I've gone into calculator, and this is the same as the circle, so in other words it's going to take me back out. So you can see they're doing different things on different devices. Rumble does work on this as well, so it is supported. So if I go to search for controllers, now battery life on this adapter is very good. If you choose to get the one that doesn't include the battery, then you will need to install your own 18650 battery. That's these batteries here. They're not the same as the AA battery, they're a lot bigger. They're basically a lithium rechargeable battery. Have a look on eBay, you can get them for between £2 to kind of £6 depending on if you go for a branded one, and also depending on the milliamp hours as well. So now with the one that you get with this, it's claimed that it lasts up to 8 hours. So obviously the bigger the milliamp hours, the longer it's going to last. Good thing about it is, because you can just take it in and out, if you had, for example, one charged up, then you can just pop that one in when this one drains. If not, all you have to do is connect up your cable to it, the micro USB, and then you can game and charge at the same time. You don't have to stop playing when the controller goes dead. So in conclusion, what do I think of this product? Personally, I like it. I like the way that you can adapt your PlayStation 4 controller. The paddles feel nice and strong, and the button clicks feel nice and tactile. I think if you've got numerous different systems and you do like playing on your PlayStation 4 controller, then I think you will be happy with this. It costs £55 in the UK, so it's not a cheap purchase. But saying that, if you want a controller with paddles, then if you're looking at, for example, a SCUF controller, they are also expensive. Or if you're looking of ways of modding your controller, that's also expensive as well. So there doesn't really seem to be a cheap way to do it. So if you want paddles, unfortunately, you're going to have to pay for it. But the good thing about this is you can use it on numerous different systems. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want a more in-depth video, then please see my longer version where I show it connecting up to every single device. But that is it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more videos. Take care. Bye now.